What's up, baseball fam, and welcome to episode 2 of the Baseballism podcast, a podcast where we interview some of the most influential people in baseball. And today we have a very special guest, Baseballism's very own Russ Razor. I want to pump him up real quick by saying, if you don't know who Russ is, you should. You've definitely worn a design that he has made, especially if you're a Baseballism fan. But also, like, I would say, bar none, one of the best designers in baseball. Has designed for, multiple professional teams and also done a lot of work for Baseballism. It was very hard to find people that knew baseball but also were great at art, and Russ was one of those people, and we had to have him on board. So introducing Russ Razor, it's great to have you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me. Little known fact, Travis and I worked at furniture moving before we even started working together at Baseballism. Remember on breaks?
Oh yeah. So we worked at a furniture store during the summers and like the off season when we played baseball. He was at Lane Community College. I was at U of O. So we knew each other before we even really knew each other back in the day. So
on our lunch breaks, we would go hit wiffle balls. Remember?
Yep.
Home run derbies on the parking garage.
Yep. Probably one of the least gratifying jobs I've ever had. We'd fall asleep on we had to move furniture, so we'd fall asleep on couches. Like even when it wasn't break time, it was, we had to be there, but we didn't want to be there. All right, so we start off every podcast with kind of a fun game. Russ is a design guy. We want to talk MLB logos. I'm going to have you blind rank. I'm going to name a team. I'm going to have you blind rank them 1 through 10.
Okay.
Let's start with the Atlanta Braves, 1 through 10. Best to worst.
Best to worst. I love the Braves. Grew up with the Braves. I'm still going to rank them somewhere around the middle, 5.
Okay, that's good. That's a safe first ranking right there because you got to leave room. Second team, we will go to the Brewers.
Brewers. I love it.
I'm talking the glove logo.
Yeah, I love the Brewers logo. I'm glad they brought it back. I'm gonna go 3 on them.
Woo, that's pretty high. All right, Detroit Tigers.
Gosh, it's a good one. 4.
4. It's a classic. Probably one of the most worn hats I've seen people wear that are not baseball fans.
Oh, it's easy to wear.
Yeah.
Super easy to wear.
Yeah. Okay, White Sox.
Oh, man. I knew this was going to come up.
Yeah.
I love the White Sox logo. I think there's going to be better ones in there. I think I got to go 6.
Okay. Pirates.
Love the Pirates too. Super easy to wear. 7.
7. I picked a lot of the good ones here. So
Yeah.
I'm making it tough on you. All right. Yankees.
Just because it's so recognizable too. Gosh, I don't want to. I'm going to mess this up. I know I am. One's not going to probably be deserving.
Are you going to go with 2 or 1?
2.
2? Okay. All right. Astros.
Astros is good, but 10.
Okay. I think that's safe. Probably like the least historical team out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the ones I have on the list, I should say. Okay, Cardinals. So I'll tell you what you have left. You have 1 left. You have 4, 5, 6. You have 8 and 9 left.
Okay. Cardinals.
Yeah.
Dang. I love the Cardinals hats too. I think you're going to sneak one in with something better. I'm going to go 8.
Okay. All right. Dodgers.
Okay.
You have 9 and 1 left.
9 and 1 left. Just because it's so iconic, I have to go 1. But there's visually better logos. To me, the Brewers is such a good logo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just creative. There's some other really creative logos, but I think I have to pick Dodgers this one.
I agree with you, man. I mean, you almost have to go Dodgers 1 and 2. Dodgers, Yankees 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. They're just, everyone wears that.
Yeah, I'm going to be bummed about number 9.
Here's number 9, Red Sox.
I feel good about 9.
So do I. I mean, like, I think you did well there because Red Sox, like, it's an old team, obviously, but I mean, that B is just, it's real plain.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really plain. But all right, there we go. So we got Dodgers 1, Yankees 2, Brewers 3, Detroit 4, Braves 5, White Sox 6, Pirates 7, Cardinals 8, Red Sox 9, and Astros 10. I think you did pretty good.
Feel pretty good about that.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on here. If you haven't guessed yet, seeing by our backdrop, we have a special announcement today. We will be releasing the next Baseballism shoe, but before we talk about that and unveil the next Baseballism shoe, we're going to talk about the first one, which was a historic Nike collab that Russ designed here. It was the first baseball lifestyle / Nike collab ever produced. We made 300 shoes, and you just want to talk about that process, working with Nike, how it was working with Nike for you, a kid growing up in Oregon. Like, how special was that for you?
Oh, it was a blast. Travis I grew up here, and Nike was such a big thing, and so for Nike and us to be working in partnership was really just kind of like a starstruck moment. We wanted to really take it to the next level, push the envelope as far as we could. They had to reel us back in a little bit. We wanted to create our own shoe and silhouette and everything, but what they did was they gave us this silhouette. It was a new silhouette they were working on, and we loved the silhouette and we felt really good about it.
Yeah, it was a turf trainer, I believe, or just a turf, Nike turf shoe.
Turf trainer. So what we did was we wanted to bring
hold on to this thing and talk about it. I think
we wanted to bring our flavor into it. I guess we did a lot of leather, women's bags, purses. So we wanted to bring that flavor to the shoe. So we got leather swoosh, we got leather here on the tongue, the heel tab. We tried to push this too, where it was some designs in the swoosh, like it was a deconstructed baseball mitt. They wouldn't sign off on that, and we get it. But basically, what we were trying to do is make a one of one, where each one was a die cut like it was taken from a baseball mitt. We got the gum sole with the tread on the bottom. It's a super easy wearable shoe. We went back and forth a lot on some colorways, but we really like this as kind of our signature shoe. And then after that, what we did was we released black, royal, red to kind of go back to the vintage Nike turf trainer.
And to travel back in time, Nike, like I said, it was the first Nike baseball lifestyle shoe. I don't think they really understood the demand that we would have for it. So they only allowed us to make a little over 300 of these shoes, 300 allowed to the public, and a little more extra for returns and exchanges. When we launched this thing, it pretty much broke our website. So we had 300, everyone knew it was going to be there. I think we had 30,000 people on our website waiting to buy it. And our website froze immediately when we released it. And when we refreshed it, every single shoe was gone. So we sold out in probably less than a second. And we didn't expect that. There were not just Baseballism fans there. There were fans that were just, sneakerheads that collected shoes. And now this thing is only available on StockX for $300 to $600. So it's kind of crazy that a shoe that we released 8 years ago is still, has value and is actually like tripled in value since we released it. So that's pretty cool. But on to the next, kind of like a mini drum roll here. We are releasing another shoe this year. It is called the Flagman 1 Turf Trainer. It's our signature shoe. We're not collabing with anyone on this one. And I want Russ to do the unveiling here. We have it in a box here. So Russ, why don't you take it out? Show the camera the shoe and just kind of talk about your inspo for the shoe, and really like the design elements that went into it, and like really just your thoughts on the shoe and how it turned out.
First of all, I think the shoe turned out great. It doesn't right here highlight the general shape when you're wearing it, but basically what we wanted to do is create something that was a turf trainer, something that was super easy to wear off the field if you wanted to. And I mean, this thing has such good grip. You could even use it as a golf shoe. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out the right silhouette for this. I don't know how many iterations we went through. I think we were talking about it for weeks, trying to edit certain silhouettes or line work, how much baseball elements we should have into it, how much we should keep generally neutral. But, you know, like I said, growing up in the Northwest, Nike's right up the street from us. And so, you know, obviously there's some inspiration from there, but we also wanted to try to make it as our own thing, as much as we could. So, you know, right here we have nubuck leather, we have pebbled leather right here, we have a molded clip on the back that says Baseballism. On the bottom, we have the shark tooth tread, and a lot of little attention to detail. We got a little baseball right in the center there, flagman on the bottom. Got embroidered flagman logo right here. Just generally a really easy shoe to wear. I'm super excited how it turned
I'm super excited how it turned out too, and like I just want to point out some of the technicality that went into it. We worked with Eric Hernandez, who is a former Adidas Originals designer, and the shark tooth tread is something that I think I really want to highlight because it is a turf trainer, and so it has to have some performance elements into it. And we really kept in mind the baseball player when it came to this. Like there's a lot of, you know, turning and twisting and also pushing and abrupt movements in baseball. So the shark tooth tread actually really is very grippy. And when it comes to rotating your back foot when you hit, or if you're a pitcher, you know, planting your front foot down and pushing off the mound, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's shark tooth tread, so it's very good at grabbing and pushing and tearing. And I think that's really important when it comes to baseball. And so those elements are tied into the shoe. And like Russ said, it's very wearable. You can wear it on the street, you can wear it for golf, but it has baseball first in mind. You can see the 3 stitches on the toe. So we're very excited about this shoe. It's launching on April 23rd for pre-order. And one thing that's very exciting that I don't think we touched on yet is that it is the first ever officially licensed Babe Ruth shoe. So in my opinion, the most iconic and timeless and dominant player in baseball has never had his own shoe, and this is the first. So I just wanted to talk about how exciting it is to have the first Babe Ruth shoe and have to design that, Russ. Like, how does that make you feel? You're designing the first ever Babe Ruth shoe. We see him in The Sandlot. You know, we see him in multiple movies. Probably the only Hall of Famer that has stood the test of time since the 1950s. How does that make you feel to have designed the first ever Babe Ruth shoe?
It's awesome. It's really cool because Babe Ruth, to me, he's on the Mount Rushmore of baseball. I feel like unanimously.
Yep.
You know, if you ask anybody what their Mount Rushmore is, there's going to be a lot of debate. Babe Ruth is, for most people, that unanimous player. And I'm just super excited about it. He was a dominant player. I mean, growing up as a youth baseball player, you're always referencing Babe Ruth, watching The Sandlot. And it's just, to me, it's larger than life. And yeah, just to have him on there, the flagman logo on there, it's cool.
Yep. And there's a lot of debate here. I know, like, the younger generations, they say, like, hey, if Babe Ruth played now, he wouldn't have, but like, just looking at the stats of some of the things he accomplished, and Shohei's a big thing now, two-way player. Babe Ruth was also a two-way player. And so I just kind of want to reel off some of the stats that Babe Ruth has, and they're pretty incredible looking back on it. So in 1920, Babe Ruth hit 54 home runs, and that was more than every single team in baseball except for one. So the amount of home runs he hit was more than the totals of every team in baseball except for one. He had 54 home runs. which is pretty incredible. He has the highest career slugging percentage in MLB history at 690. He led the league in slugging 13 times in a 14-year span. And the kind of list goes on and on in like his dominance. I mean, he had a career 714 home runs, and I think that stood for a long time. Like the closest person to him had like 120 less for like the next 50 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I know you were talking about his pitching statistics in the World Series. What was that stat?
So he had 29, I think, .2 scoreless innings in the World Series, which was a record for
Like consecutively.
consecutive innings, consecutive scoreless innings. And I think in his World Series play, I think he had a .87 ERA, which is insane.
It's crazy.
And so I don't think he's looked at well enough, or his pitching accomplishments are not touted enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what Shohei is now, we don't have the documentation, the video evidence as well, but you hear stories of Babe Ruth. I mean, he has every nickname. He's larger than life. He's a legend.
Yep. And even now, it's like, there are still people like Shohei had a great year last year, MVP. Aaron Judge was the AL MVP. But you ask someone, well, who would you take on your team, Shohei or Judge? There are some people that pick Aaron Judge. As dominant as Shohei was on both sides of the field, there's some people that say, I would take Aaron Judge over Shohei.
Right.
But you look back at Babe Ruth when he had a 60 home run year, the next person had 30 home runs.
Yeah.
There was no debate. Like, he was that dominant where it's like, who's the best player in baseball? It's Babe Ruth. It was like that for probably 10 years.
Well, from the stories and seeing everything on Babe Ruth, it seems like he made baseball fun too. Because 1919 was the Black Sox scandal. 1920, I think he came out with 54 home runs. Big, charismatic personality. So I think baseball needed him so badly. And it seemed like he just made baseball fun.
He did. And I know in Japan, he was a big deal too. He went overseas to Japan, kind of brought baseball to Japan, taught them the game. He, was one of the most famous Americans back in those times. And when he came to Japan, it was a huge deal. It was like a superstar coming to Japan. So if you go to a lot of Japanese stadiums, they have a shrine to Babe Ruth in the stadium. That's how big a deal he was internationally, even with no internet, not a lot of technology to share who he was. So, I mean, Babe Ruth's the guy, and this is his first shoe.
Yep.
And it releases for pre-order on April 23rd. Just letting people know, if you followed our Nike drop, this thing should probably be gone pretty quick too. I can't guarantee that, but man, this is a good looking shoe. Everyone I show this to is, their jaw drops on the floor and how well it turned out. The pebbled leather, the nubuck, on top of it, the three baseball stitches that kind of give a tip of the cap to the game. I'm really excited about this shoe. I can't wait to wear it every day. So April 23rd, it's coming out. And so we're talking about Babe Ruth, we're talking about Shohei. Segments to our next fun segment. Old school versus new school. So I'm going to give you an old guy versus a new guy at each position. You just tell me who you pick. You may not know the stats of these people, but just pick one, okay?
Okay.
Sandy Koufax, Clayton Kershaw. Two Dodgers.
I'm going to take Sandy Koufax. Nothing against Kirsch, but he retired so early that he had a lot left in the tank. Who knows how good, even better he could have been.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Koufax.
Yeah. And personally, I don't know a lot of the stats of these older guys, but I don't know. I think I might take some of the older guys a lot more often than take the younger guys. Okay, Johnny Bench, Yadi Molina.
Johnny Bench, Yadier Molina. I'm going to say Molina because everything that I've seen from Molina, he knows the game so well. I'm sure Bench knew the game so well too, had so much success. But from what I saw, I love Yadi.
Yeah, I love Yadi too. I know Johnny Bench was a lot better hitter statistically. I don't know his exact stats, but Yadi, I got no argument there. Okay, Lou Gehrig, Albert Pujols.
Lou Gehrig, Albert Pujols. Man,
And you're just trying to win games here. I'll say it. You're just trying to win.
I'm trying to win games. I'm going to go Pujols.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the 90s. Pujols was playing during my childhood, and he was a machine and just unbelievable hitter. He was I have to take Pujols.
Okay. I got a tough one for you at second base. Jackie Robinson or Ryan Sandberg? This is tough.
This is tough.
For many reasons, yeah.
Just based off just sheer athleticism, I'm going to go Jackie.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer, and just all the intangibles he brings to the table.
Yeah.
It's a good answer. Mike Schmidt, and here's a current player, Manny Machado.
I'm going to go Schmidt.
Okay. I think their stats are very similar. Well, Machado's career is not over, but I think they'll end up being pretty similar. Okay, here's the debate right here. Barry Bonds or Shohei Ohtani?
Barry Bonds or Shohei? I mean, Barry Bonds was a great player, two-way player.
Great.
I mean, it's hard to go against Shohei.
It's hard to go against Shohei.
I mean, I think you put Shohei up against almost anybody, Shohei is going to come out on top of that conversation.
Okay. Shohei. I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I respect it 100%.
And it doesn't take away from Bonds because, again, we grew up watching Bonds, especially during his 73 season.
Talk about must-see TV there.
Remember they stopped. I would always go work out at Better Bodies.
Yeah.
And they would stop every whatever news program was on, and they would show his at-bats.
It's crazy.
And a lot of times he would be hitting a home run right then.
Yeah, I think the year he hit 73, he was hitting a home run like one every 7 at-bats.
That was an awesome season.
Insane. Okay. Ted Williams or Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Oh, Ted Williams, easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to hear him talk about hitting and how good of an eye is. Have you ever heard the story of him? I think he got back from the war. He was taking batting practice, and he looked down at second base and said, "Second base is off 2 inches." And they're like, "No, it's not." And then they went and measured, and it was off pretty close to what he called it as.
That's crazy. And the reason why I just brought that up is because a lot of people say oh, the new guys are just so much more athletic and they, everything's harder and they're bigger and stronger. But it's you put them side by side, and you're Ted Williams versus Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis Jr. is probably more athletic in his prime than Ted Williams is.
Yeah.
But it's just you can't pick one. You can't pick Tatis Jr. over Ted Williams.
No, I mean, if Tatis got a 400 season, we'll talk about it. But no, Ted Williams was like a scientist.
Oh, I agree. Okay, here's a tough one. Willie Mays or Ken Griffey Jr.?
That's a tough one.
That is hard.
Okay, I'm going only because I'm biased and I grew up in the 90s. Junior.
Yeah.
But Willie Mays was awesome too.
I mean, the same player.
Yeah.
Center field, athletic, home runs, stolen bases. Okay, here's one. This might be kind of tough. Derek Jeter, and he's not even that old, but Derek Jeter, Francisco Lindor.
Lindor's awesome, but Jeter, just because what he accomplished.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird when you put Jeter against most all-star MVP shortstops, his stats are not as good as theirs. Lindor's had, multiple 30 home run seasons. Jeter maybe had a couple over 20.
Yeah.
But man, the intangibles matter.
But you talk about clutch.
Yeah.
Growing up as a child and watching, he doesn't hit many home runs, but in the World Series, when it counts, he comes up.
Clutch gene. Yeah, for sure. And he's won championships. That's a huge difference too, because everyone's watching him primetime World Series. So
I wasn't a huge fan of Jeter growing up, but I always admired the way he played. And so his last game, the world knew it was his last at bat as a Yankee. And I forget if it was extras or ninth inning, but he gets that game-winning hit.
Yeah.
And I was running around the house like a little kid, just because I wanted to see him go out on top. And so that was sweet.
Yeah, and talking to other people who hate the Yankees, they'll always say, I hate the Yankees, but man, I like Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
So that's how you got respect. So we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to go over it one more time. Flagman 1, first Babe Ruth licensed shoe, turf trainer, April 23rd, releasing for pre-order. Don't be late to this one. Baseballism Social, baseballism.com for more info. But we'll follow up with this. Thanks, Russ, for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.